I'm just setting up for a consultation to give a client my food intolerance testing service. And I thought I'd jump on here and show you what it's all about, because really the majority of us are suffering with really awful gut issues and, things like IBS, constipation, diarrhea, bloating, stomach pain and discomfort. And food intolerance testing is really useful because it helps you identify certain foods that might be triggering those kinds of symptoms. Now, the thing I really want to get across is that it doesn't mean, with food intolerances, it doesn't mean that you can never eat these foods again, because they're sensitivities, they're not true allergies. And what it also means is that just because you're coming up with those food intolerances now does not mean you'll have them later on. And they are just the icing on the cake. So what I mean by that is there has to be imbalances in the body already, and then the food intolerances join the party, so to speak. So the more imbalances you have, the more out of kilter your system is, the more food intolerances you'll have. Okay? And so you can change all of that by addressing your diet and making all sorts of lifestyle changes. The other thing I want to add is that there are a lot of, not a lot, but quite a few food intolerance tests available now. You can now send off, and you can you can go to your doctor for food intolerance tests. You can now go and send off for your food intolerance tests. But the only thing I would say about those is that you don't get the nutritional advice and support of a qualified nutritionist who can help you create the perfect ideal plan for you, which might not be 100% restrictive. It might be that initially, if you've got really awful symptoms like horrendous hay fever and allergic rhinitis, or horrendous aches and pains, or horrendous gut issues, that yes, it might be wise that you avoid that food for a period of time. But that doesn't have to be forever. And for a lot of people, 100% restriction can make you feel miserable and deprived and feel like you're sort of being punished. And so sometimes with some clients, I suggest a more slow, more gently approach, where you might just do my favourite thing, which is the 80-20. So you have a little bit of your favourite foods, and that gives the body a chance to heal and repair itself, but it's over a longer period. So you've got to be prepared that it's going to take longer. But that's something that I can guide you with when you're with me. The other thing is, what did I want to say as well about that? I don't know, can't remember. So I'm just going to explain how the sort of session works. So basically, the first thing you do is you fill out a questionnaire. And let me see if I can turn the camera around. So you would fill out a questionnaire like this, which gives me an idea of what's going on for you. And then we will discuss, let me turn it around and put the camera back. Then we will talk through what is going on for you. Now, the other thing that is, I think, an added bonus of having a consultation with me is that I don't just identify the physical health issues that are going on for you. What I help you to identify is the stress that is going on in your life. Well, you know what the stress is, but how to cope with that and what you can do about it, and help you with strategies to deal with that. And the reason I do that is because the biggest issue we have, I mean, it might be that you're eating absolute crap, or that you are, and most of my clients aren't actually. What they're doing is they are, sabotaging a little bit. So they're eating some too much chocolate maybe, or too many snacks, or having wine every night, or just a little bit, and they're not, they're not giving their body a break. And the thing is that when we do that, we know that it's not helping our body to do that. But we're doing it for a very good reason, and that is because we want to feel better. And that's a simple bottom line. And to just rely on willpower to try to stop yourself isn't always, and typically isn't, a particularly helpful way to do it. But when we can get in touch with what is going on in our lives that is not serving us, that is stressing us out, when we can start to really take care of ourselves, we can only do that if we can get underneath the stress. So part of the consultation will be identifying what's causing you stress in your life. And it might not be. It might be that in your session, we just focus entirely on the food intolerances and how they're affecting you physically. And there may be no issues going on in your life that could be aggravating that. But typically, in a holistic vibe, the mind and the body are connected. And typically there will be some kind of stress going on in our lives that is causing us to sabotage ourselves and causing us to eat things that are making our gut problems worse and all sorts of things. And you get all of that in your hour consultation. And the thing is that because I love and am passionate about this work and helping people to feel great about themselves and to heal their bodies and you know, to float off into the skyline beyond their menopause, feeling really good and with good energy levels and so on. If we run over time, for example, we run over time. I don't charge you extra. You know, this is, you know, it's full on. It's a complete commitment on my part and hopefully on your part to want to take care of yourself, to want to take that step towards making changes that can help you restore your health fully. So that's kind of probably enough of that. But you get all of that, which is so different to just getting a food intolerance test or an allergy test from the doctor. I'm sure the doctor will listen to you, but they're not trained in nutrition. They're not trained in diet. They don't have time. They don't have time. And obviously if you send off for one, you're just going to get the results. And then what do you do with it? You know, sometimes it's overwhelming if it's recommended that you avoid a big food group like dairy or gluten or something like that. And I basically help you formulate a strategy that works just for you, that focuses on the key, most important changes that you need to make you feel good about yourself. And then on top of that, you get my insight, my knowledge and my insight into what may be going on for you emotionally and stress-wise, and a few tweaks there that you could do to help you feel better about yourself. Because remember that stress creates dehydration, and dehydration creates acidity and inflammation. Okay, and inflammation means that could be anything. That could be in the joints, it could be in the gut, it could be mental, emotional. So you might be suffering with a lot of anxiety and a lot of anxious thoughts and that kind of thing. So I'm just going to show you now also the system I use. So this is called a Vega test. And as you can see, the green light is on. And basically what happens is you hold the electrical bar and I use this probe to press gently on an acupuncture point on the finger. And I create an electrical circuit because we are energetic beings and everything is electrical. And then I use these homeopathic solutions of all these different foods and some vitamins at the bottom to check for vitamin deficiencies. And I create an electrical circuit. And if you have a problem with a food, it creates a resistance reading on the machine. Now, I can't determine how allergic you are. I can't determine how strong the sensitivity is, but I can determine if there's a sensitivity there. And then the key is then to possibly do some kind of elimination diet initially to test it out. So to avoid the food for a period of time and then to try it out and see how the body reacts. But like I said, food intolerances are only a tiny part of your health picture. So when you come for a consultation, you're not just getting a food intolerance test, you are getting a complete service in terms of looking at all of your symptoms, how they link up, how they link together, and what you can do with your diet to make changes, as well as if I intuitively sense there's something going on in your life that needs addressing, I can coach you through that because I'm also a qualified coach, life coach. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on and give you an idea about that. And then the other thing is to just briefly show you what you get with the booklet. So here's your booklet, and then that's where I will put all your notes for you during the session to help you. And sometimes, if necessary, I will send you an email, and that will have some information on there and some resources for you if you're struggling to find recipes and so on. So you've got all the alternatives for the main food groups on this side. You've got obviously this showing you all the different foods that you might be showing up with, and then why food sensitivities develop, how you can eliminate them, and then these ones are really important for telling you what you need to do generally with your diet in terms of increased water and certain naturopathic techniques and foods that you can do. And then here we've got the vitamins and minerals. So as a sort of added bonus, we look to see if there's any deficiencies in any of the vitamins and minerals, and again, what you can do about those. So there we go, a quick rundown of this particular service that I offer. And, if you're keen to resolve gut issues, aches and pains, extreme tiredness, sort of chronic symptoms like coughs and skin problems, eczema, asthma, the bloating side of things, all of that, the hay fever, but all of that stuff. Constipation, if you've had lifelong constipation, you do not have to live with these things, but you do need to get underneath why they're there and discover the ways and means to change them. So lots of love to all of you who are watching, and I hope you've got a lovely weekend ahead. I must come on here a bit more often, and next time I think I'll talk about this time of year, because it's not the easiest time of the year for the body, so you might be wanting to make some shifts and changes to keep healthy through the winter. Lots of love to you all. Bye for now.